Happy Friday, everyone. I missed yesterday, so I apologize. But Mornings with Michael is for information and educational purposes only. Hope everybody has had an amazing week. The weather has warmed up quite a bit here in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we're enjoying our summer, so to speak, Indian summer. But without further ado, let's get to our screens. Show the heat map. Yesterday's heat map was pretty much all red. And today it's an amazing green. People are looking past a bad jobs report, and almost everything is green with fresh water on it. So there we have that. We'll stop the share. Once again, 85 to 90% of the people would be best off to have an annuity because volatility is really painful. Ups and downs in the market can be painful. And a lot of people have been espousing benefits of index investing, low expense ratio, but really look over here. Average annuity annual growth is 5% greater per year than indexes, because indexes go up and down. Annuities, you never lose money, goes up, stays up on the step, doesn't come back down, goes up the next step, and so on and so forth. So there you have that. Annuities are currently, I believe, giving a 40% bonus on some annuities, some higher, some lower. And this is the bonus along with the annual interest rate increases is how they beat the indexes. So that's that chart. And here's my screen. Before we get to the news, take a quick look. We haven't looked at crypto for a while. My screen does not want to, there we go. We'll look at the dollar index first. Dollar index has it topped? We don't know that yet. It has had a pullback over here, and it just kept getting stronger. So we'll just have to wait and see. Has gold bounced? Gold has indeed bounced for the dollar pulling back strongly. Silver, look at that move. We'll just have to see if it can fill the gap and continue higher. Our copper, which is used in a lot of EV batteries, has a big bounce. Southern Copper as well. And Freeport McMoran, yeah, huge bounce as well. So what did the yields in the bonds do today? Wow, they shot up quite a bit and pulled back, looks like about halfway. I'm not sure if that's barometers for the future, but that wouldn't spell too good a news for the stock market if the bond keeps shooting up like that, bond yields. And here's a 20-year acting very similar. So let's look at the volatility index. Tried to move up to 20, but it's pulled back strongly. And S&P is up today, pretty strong. This is the first day of a rally. We'll take it as such. pretty good volume so far. Here's the NASDAQ as well, got a pretty good bounce. Small caps, strong move there as well, strong volume. And the Dow Jones. So all of these stocks had a hammer pattern. I believe it was on Wednesday, which signals hammer pattern after this much down volume signifies up move coming, and that up move came today. Hammer pattern is something we see on candlesticks charts. See if I can bring one up. Got it. Okay. Let me go share the screen. So this is a screen over here. This is a hammer pattern, signifying a big move coming. If it's at the top, it's a hanging man, and it signified a pullback. So that's what we got there. So continuing on, let's take a look what's happening in the news. We got Levi Incorporated, Q3 EPS 28 cents versus 27 cents, initially sold off, negative 30% earnings change. Earnings surprise up 2.83%, but it has fought back and it's close to its highs for the day. Elf Beauty was upgraded to buy from hold. Elf Beauty has been, if anybody's been watching this show, has been one of the strongest leaders along with Super Micro. Just look at that move from 33.63 to, what was that? Pretty close to 140. It's got a pullback, is bouncing off the 200-day moving average. So that's Elf Beauty. Upgraded to buy from hold at Jefferies, saying it sees buying opportunity following the recent valuation pullback in the cosmetics company. Tesla cut prices of its Model 3 compact sedan and Model Y SUV in the US by about 2.7 to 4.2% to boost demand for its electric vehicles after deliveries missed estimates this week. The Model 3 sedan is cheaper by $1,250, $38,990, and prices of the Model Y long-range variant were cut by $2,000 to $48,490, the car company's website showed. So let Tesla, looks like it's forming a cup with a handle, one of the most found trading symbols. We got the handle here, it's popping up here 3 days in a row, kind of tight price action. So we'll just have to keep watching that. I did buy, I believe it was 3 option spreads on this today, 260, I think 265 actually. Just take a look what I did. Yeah, 267.50 on the short side and 262.50 on the long side. So that's what I did earlier. Oh, come back to our screen and news. On to energy, industrials, and materials. ExxonMobil is closing in on a deal to buy Pioneer Natural Resources, PXD, and a takeover that could be worth roughly $60 billion, the Wall Street Journal reported. Here's Exxon, shares falling on that, and PXD, I'm sure, is rising. Yeah, huge gap up. They had been declining, and with that news, it is up strongly. Diesel prices rise as Russia's government said on Friday it has lifted a ban on pipeline diesel exports via ports, removing the bulk of restrictions installed on September 21st. And let's see, Vale got a little pop. Rio Tinto looks very similar. BHP got a little stronger pop. All upgraded to neutral from sell at UBS. Payne Weber. Shoals Technologies upgraded to overweight from neutral at Piper Sandler. And very minimal move on that, up 1.2%. Apogee Enterprises raises share repurchase authorization to 2 million shares. It gapped up on the open and is pulled back to the bottom of its range today, which is slightly bearish. PayPal, PYPL, introduces gift cards and Venmo, saying customers now can send and receive gift cards from popular brands through the Venmo app. Looks like it gapped down in the morning and now is at the top of its range. Up less than 1% though. Healthcare. Royal Philips shares fell after the FDA said it is unsatisfied with the status of the company's recall of devices to treat sleep apnea and asked for additional testing. The FDA doesn't believe the testing and analysis that Philips has shared to date are adequate to evaluate the risk posed to users from the recalled devices. On to technology, media, and telecom. Air Test Systems, which was a big winner in the pandemic era. We see popped up out of here. It looks like it went from $3.48 to 50. It has been trending down as of late, though. This is a carbide producer, I believe, in the semiconductor industry. Quarter one EPS 18 cents versus estimate 16 cents. They have a backlog 18.4 million, and a backlog as of August 31st was 22.3 million. Backs revenue for 2024 of at least $100 million. Camp quarter two GAAP EPS loss 11 cents versus estimate of 3-cent profit. And it is down 32%. Well, when you have that big of a loss, when you're expecting a profit, I guess that's what you can expect. On to Taiwan Semiconductor. We got a nice bump today. Said its 9-month revenue fell 6.2% year over year to NT $1.54. Saw revenue of 1.638. I'm not sure what monetary system NT is for, but I'll have to get back to that. Chip Moss said its quarter three revenue increased 6.2% year over year to 173.1 million. Initially sold off on that, and it is picking up the pieces as it tries to crawl back to where it was yesterday. It does have the 50-day moving average holding it down here, though. On to Google. Stop Samsung from installing search app, ex-executive says as per Reuters. Former executive at Samsung Electronics venture capital arm who proposed that mobile app developer branch Metrics software be installed in Samsung smartphones face pushback due to pressure from Google, he said. So Google is up on this news, I guess, pretty strongly. Looks like it's ready to break out. On to Microsoft. Is aiming to close its $69 billion deal for Call of Duty publisher Activision Blizzard, ATVI, on October 13th. If it gets the approval from Britain's antitrust regulator, The Verge reported on Friday, citing a source. So Microsoft is up strong. ATVI is up slightly, 0.61%. Finally, Britain's data watchdog said Snapchat had been issued with a preliminary enforcement notice over a possible failure to properly assess the privacy risk of its generator AI chatbot to users, including teenagers. Their stock sold off initially, but trying to bounce back. They're in a big downtrend, though. It doesn't look too good. So that's all the news for today. So let's take a look where the big money was flowing today. Pinduoduo in China. Look at that volume. That's a lot of buying. Kind of trickled along here with low volume, and then all of a sudden we got this huge volume buying today. Number one today is Pet Q, which was up, I believe it was on our Wednesday show. And so we got 1, 2, 3 strong days of buying. On the selling, it didn't retrace too much. This is a huge amount of buying. So it's up the 114% volume change. Price is up 6%. PDD, 107% volume change. Price is up 7.71%. This is where I'm really kicking myself. The market, I had a strong feeling about crowd, and I let the market chase me out of my spread option. So I got back in today. I have 4 really strong choices. You have to do your own due diligence. I like CrowdStrike or Zscaler is also up strong today. And the cyber protection area. And then I like Meta. It's popping up today. Nice move. I bought Meta spread today as well. Let's see what I did. No, it hasn't triggered yet. I'm just going to wait on this one a little bit, see if we get a pullback. But I have it open for a 315, 325 next Friday call. And the crowd, I have a 177.50, 182.50 call for next Friday as well. And then on NVIDIA, I had a 125, no, a 420, 425 call. 4 of those of the short side I bought back. So I have, if it stays at the price it is, by next Friday, I should be able to get 400 shares of NVIDIA at $420. So keep our fingers crossed. Don't follow me. Do your own due diligence, of course. Now continuing on where the money was flowing today, SUM. Summit Materials, kind of a ugly chart pattern, trying to build the right side of its base. We'll take a look at PAVE in the infrastructure area. PAVE got a big bounce today to kind of support, see where Summit Materials is coming from. And then we got Fabrinet, contract manufacturer. Continues really strong buying here. Look at all these days of strong buying. One day of heavy selling, it says, but it didn't move much. So there's equal amount of selling and buying. We got ESTC, Elastic, operates a search company that ingests and stores data from any source in any format and performs search. Quite a huge gap up here. As long as it maintains above the low of the gap up day, and we continue to get support, this is a strong individual. Look at all these blue bars, one red bar, but can just throw that out, I guess, based on all the blue bars here. 334% earnings increase expected for next year and 39% the following year. Hubbell, electrical wiring and power transmission, also getting a strong bounce today. Earnings supposed to be up 43% this year and then fall to 5% above next year. NVS, Novartis, it's a little bit of a pop here. We do have a number of red selling days here, and it did kind of gap down on a number of them, so buyer beware. I would want to see it get above, be above 98.79, 10 cents above this area at least. Nutanix, enterprise cloud platform for converges server virtualization storage into one integrated solution. Got a big gap up here. It did come down below that gap up here. So this needs to be watched, although there is pretty huge volume today. So maybe what you do, you look at the low of today and reset everything. If it doesn't fall below that low and get supported, could move that again. Looks like the low of today is pretty close to the low of the gap up day. Some pretty good earnings number, up 39%, and 2025 expected 42%. On the buying side, finally Mobley. It's working on base on base on base. So I would kind of wait on this. I'd have to see it at least get up to 45.20. Or I suppose if it got above here, this could be an aggressive buy, 42.50. So there you have that. Now let's look at where the money was moving out of. Yeah, Air Test Systems. Disappointed with those earnings results, gapping down, huge volume. Their earnings came out 260% increase, but that wasn't people were looking for. Circor International down 1.22%. Looks like they may have got a buyout offer here, a cash offer. So I'd stay away from that definitely. Domino's Pizza. The dough is falling. Big selling day on Domino's today. A lot of the restaurants were selling off this last week. Wonder if this is a continuation. Mondelez, food products. You have another food producer, big sell off today. Huge volume. Church and Dwight, baking soda, laundry detergents, condoms, pregnancy tests, toothpaste, and other consumer products. Not doing so well. Continues down. McCormick, another food product. Amazing. I guess it's just stay away from the food. It could give you a tummy ache. Constellation Brands, beer, wines, and spirits, another food entertainment type of manufacturer, is down big. Mirati Therapeutics had a big move the other day, so just a little bit of profit taking. Costco, another food distributor. They sold off pretty strong, but recovered in the upper 50% of the zone, off a little over 2% today on heavy volume. And finally, Altair Engineering is selling off pretty huge volume there. Let's take a look at some issues that I've looked at before. Kava is breaking the trend of food companies. They look like they hit bottom over here when they bounce. Average volume, slightly more volume today. We'll just have to see if it can mend itself. I talked about these when they were about 41, said it looked like an IPO base was breaking out, went up to 58, and when it got to 52, I said, throw in the towel. I think this is going to break down, and sure enough, it did. Take a look at Kura Sushi, the other big restaurant chain. After a big sell-off, they're definitely getting a bounce today. Massive volume. Let's look at some of our trending ETFs. So financials are up. Technology up really strong volume. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 days in a row, kind of tight pattern here. Looked like it was forming a shelf pattern. Stayed in this tight area, and now it's bounced out of that area. IGV. Software. Looked like it got a bounce today. Yeah, that looks pretty strong. Getting back to his 50-day moving average. Take a look at a few software companies. Not sure why this is taking so long. Not sure what happened to the Salesforce chart here, but they are up almost 3%. ServiceNow, there was up pretty strong. HubSpot, another CRM, up strong. Have they hit bottom? We don't know yet. Take a look at Salesforce one more time. Workday had a conference this week in the Bay Area. Looks like they're trying to bounce off the bottom. Volume isn't that strong yet. Interesting. This is one that was in the news yesterday. Had a nice bounce. Kind of followed through bounce today. Develops human capital management software. Provides human resources and payroll. I'm just looking at my news here, see if so. Let's kind of look at the breadth. This is the advanced decline line. Did pick up a little bit today. Here's the S&P 500 advanced daily market, New York Stock Exchange average. This is the NASDAQ and the Amex. As you can see, it's been trending down quite a bit. Like to see this come back some. This is the Amex. This is the NASDAQ. Pretty flat here. So the top money managers don't think the AI boom is over. And what are the top platforms in AI? We've actually looked at them already, but can look at them again. NVIDIA, Sport says it's beating 99% of all the stocks on the S&P 500, and it's no doubt it's been the shining star after it gapped up from 308.40 to 419 and hasn't really looked back. Meta platforms, another AI. If I can get, not sure why this isn't wanting to cooperate. Let's try sharing it again and see what happens. Here's a closing bell. So it looks like it just doesn't want to cooperate. We'll bring it up on another web browser.